Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P-Funk. Thinking right out here in the lab. A little chilly, but I'm doing what I do for you by any means necessary. Let's get this party started. I got a lesson I got to get in for you. Hope you enjoy it. Let's go. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in the story that I give for life. I give life lessons. You tune in to receive them. I appreciate your comments and all. Let's do what we do. We got a good thing going. Right Thinker's mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right Thinker's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment as individual. Everybody got to do it for themselves. And my mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. See where we're going with this? Let's get that together. So I ask the question, do you know you? You will when I'm through. That's the deal. And I ask the question, again, sorry, yeah, but if you don't know, tune in. I can help you with this rhetorical. Still has a brain free. It's rhetorical, but if you don't have the answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I'm here to do for you. Let's go. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. So you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself. And to my yacht, be true. Speaking of, we just got out that lesson. Right thinkers, let's break down creation. Starting with Shu Tefnut. Who are they? Let's start from there. It's a good question. I got a nice little lesson, a couple of pages of information, and some of y'all like the classroom thing, so we in class right now. If you ain't a student, this ain't gonna be for you. I ain't ranting. I'm teaching. Let's go. Shu and Tefnut. Next, Ra gave rise to Shu and Tefnut. Okay, some people say nut. The U in Egyptian spelled like the O, the double O, so it's Nut, not Nu. You got Shu and you got Tefnut. Shu is the principle. Remember, these are principles and concepts and elements that we give identity to study, to learn about, so we can emulate. We can't emulate air. Okay, so understand it. These are principles of air and space. Space is the first thing that's necessary in order for what? Creation to even be possible. That's the start. Somebody had to know that. So there's a conscious thing going on here. Watch. They break it down perfect. This is thousands of years ago. This ain't modern technology. In Eastern mystical teachings, this principle is referred to as, they call it ether. All right. The next principle of creation, we're going through creation, is Tefnut. She represents, or she symbolizes, the potential, watch this, the potential of dynamic energy, listen, and the life force within what? All creation. She is that which allows creation to have movement. Okay, that's her job. I gave the concept of being moist in air, but I'm going with their concept. And she's movement. And she also represented with a what? A lioness head. Not a female's head, but a lioness head. And it's a reason. Watch this. Now, she is related to the ancient Egyptian goddess we know as Sekhmet. That's Ptah's consort in the Thebes concept. What? She's represented, okay, Sekhmet is the goddess who presides over what we call Sekhem, which is the serpent power. And guess what? She represents life force in all things, and she has a lioness head. Those are two forces, Tefnut and Setmet. The both of them don't have female heads, they have lion heads because of the quality of the lioness, and they understood that from ancient times. Okay, let's go. Now we're going to talk about Shu and Tefnut gave rise to, next, Shu and Tefnut, I just read the lesson, stop talking. Shu and Tefnut gave rise to Geb and Nut. Geb, now, in the original concept, Earth is the man. Why? Because it's flat. How about you flat Earth? Yeah, the plane of Earth is flat. But guess what? Here's the caveat. Nut covers Geb as the female. That's the what? The dome and firmament. Is that for me? That's what y'all call it now? We way ahead of that. Watch this. So, Shu and Nut gave rise to Tefnut. Respectively, Geb represents Earth, Nut represents heaven. So from the subtlest, which is air and moist air, activity, the force, from the subtlest essence of creation, which started with Ra, the sun, let there be light, the subtlest principles, from him on, we have space, which is Shu, and life force energy, Tefnut, emerged. Now, we walking through creation. Before anything happened, this is the elements that set forth. Now, from space and life force energy, we moving on down to what a more denser principle, which starts with what? This constitutes a physical world, the stars, the planet, etc. Geb and Nut. Nut represents the galaxy. This picture right here, I showed you the picture in the last lesson. This is how they wrote. They didn't have words. Okay, they wrote a pictogram. What you see there, you see a boat transverse on one side coming up here, going over. That's the boat with Ra, Mayat, and Tahuti. That's who he rode with in the daytime. Then you see over here, he coming out of the noon. You see the noon pushing him up, and he still got Mayat and Tahuti with him. But this is Nut here, the starry decked heavens that covers Earth. You see Geb, he's sitting here. Okay, that's the male aspect of creation, and all up in here is life as a creation. This is Shu right here. What is he doing? He's pushing Nut up off of Geb. I gave that story before, but I'm gonna tell you right now because I'm trying to get this lesson, but using the book to tell a story. So I let the book give us the lesson, and from there I just showed you the picture. You got space that constitutes everything that starts. Thus, we got Ra, the basic principle of creation, first, emanated at this sets the stage for what? For existence. Remember, Pa, something had to create existence in human beings. Now, we got Ra, we got air, we got energy, we got the earth, we got the stars. Everything is in place. Those are 5 elements. The 6th thing on the creation step is who? The spirit. Okay, let's go. Human beings, starting with a saw. And now you got the life forms. Now watch how they break this down. They got the life forms of creation. And notice that all the principles, starting with Shu and Tefnut and Geb and Nut, are what? All paired up. Ra, singular. Right? Watch this. So you got pair of opposites, which have been given male and female iconographs, meaning we're going to use them male and female, yin, yang, up, down, in, out, but opposites. That's Maya. Okay? Everybody operates. And this points to what? The teachings that existence is a mingling of opposite principles which emanate from the one single essence. However, in and of themselves, they are not, hear me, these principles are not what constitute life in the human point of view. Why? They just elements. They're principles. They do not contain the dynamic consciousness, which is what man has, of what? The self or the spirit, Ra, in the proper manner to allow reasoning. That's where we come in at. Feeling, etc. to manifest. So reasoning, feeling, memory, action, love, and other capacities are what constitute human existence. Now, I'm not a microbiologist. I can't tell you about the atoms and molecules, that nonsense, proton, neutron. I ain't got time for that. That ain't my thing. want that go to Neil deGrasse. He break it down perfect. He's a genius at that. But I'm showing you how the ancients put the concept of creation for them. And it was perfect. Why? Because now the modern technology proves everything they said was true. That's why. And in order for those to manifest, here we go, to the proper combination of what? Matter, which is the spirit, matter and spirit. Matter is the physical, spirit is the upper. They must be present. The body and the spirit have to come together to make human existence. That's why they're breaking it down. And before that happened, he's showing you nature in its own. When Geb and Newt were together like this, God couldn't work. He said, Shu, handle that. So that's Shu pushing Newt up, and because they violated Ra's law of having intercourse with each other, she got impregnated, and Ra said she couldn't have the baby. Story goes, Tahuti went to Consul, played him in a quick game, gambling. Long story short, coerced him out of 5 days so she can give birth to Asar, Aset, Set, Neptet, and Haru Ur. Quick story, moving on. Love it, a whole bunch of stuff going on, but I'm trying to break it down so I can simplify it so you can understand it. What I just showed you was this above, which is the Shu separates Geb and Newt. Okay, a lot of stuff going on there, but I ain't got time to break it all down. But I just said above the goddess Newt, you see Newt stretching over across Geb, and Ra sails over the back of Newt. So they outside constellation, creating what? The sustaining creation. They are what? Sustain creation. Mayat and Tahuti, the mind of Ra, and the balance and understanding and order that Mayat brings. They laid it out for you. Let's go. After Ra created heaven, they tell you, God created heaven and earth. Yeah. We all know that. It's okay. They break it down to you where you can really understand it. I hope you're getting the concept. Now, what's this? After Ra created heaven and earth, what happened? Geb and Newt, they loved each other so much, it's a love affair with them, and that what? They engaged in perpetual hanky-panky. They was doing the horizontal mambo consistently. Okay? They was horny toes, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, that was the concept. That's the story. Another time, I got to get to this lesson. But what happened? They was in perpetual lovemaking, and they remained locked. I keep using this as a concept. That's why you see, when God got tired of the sexual embrace, he decreed what that they should be separated. Okay, Shu, take care of that. Now, ain't nothing between them but Shu, aka air. But for eternity, if you break Ra's law, you ain't just gonna get a little. No, it's for eternity. You might not want to be, too foolish and do something that he didn't want you to do. Long story short, that's how it was. And so the story goes, Geb would always look up, Newt would always look down, but they'll never do that again. That's the punishment, okay? But in Tahuti won her 5 days, because in the obelisk that y'all see that y'all love so much, that represents penis, Geb's penis. Some say Osiris's because he lost his, but this real story before that is Geb's. Okay, moving on. Where we at now? Okay. Again, I should just read this stuff. Sorry about that. Ra decreed that they should be separated. I just gave the story. So he ordered Shu, air, space, ether, to come between them. That's what the picture I showed you. We can say that, but the picture, people knew that in their times. Why? They understood what was going on. Hieroglyphic, they call it Medjugorje, is God's writings. Newt had become pregnant. What do you think? Moving on, I ain't got time for that story. I see the clock. Now, when they got pregnant, when Geb removed his penis, a.k.a. the obelisk, from her, she gave birth to what? The divinities that constitute the elements of human existence. How? Thus, the next 5 deities represented that melding of what? Spirit into matter. Watch this. God into his creation. Again, spirit into matter. Just read, boy. Just read. I do that. That's why I know it. But watch this. This is about to get good. Which allows human life to exist. Damn, we just broke down creation for you. Now it's about to get good. And to what? Be sustained. Asar is the soul. First man. Number 6. Aset is what? intuition, something that comes from within, and aka enlightenment. Set, you know him? That's your ego. He's on board. He's your consciousness. That's who you identify with. Excuse me. When the kids come into the world, babies, they know one thing, themselves, and they know how to get what they want. Cry, get somebody's attention, and let them, I done pee, I done doo-doo, so come change me. Why? I'm going to cream until somebody come get to me. That's building their ego self. Moving on, that's set. You can't kill that. You just got to control it. Moving on. And they end up doing. Neptat, she represents what? Mortality, nature, and worldly consciousness. Anything that's born going to die. That's what Neptat represents. Nature. Haru who is he? He is the final result of what? Perfection of the balance of what? Spirit and matter, aka the enlightened one. That's the goal for all right thinkers, to become Haru We're Haru aspirants. We're growing. We're learning. We're getting better. Okay? I'm preparing you. And now let's talk about Asar, Aset, Set, and Neptat. The two pairs. Okay? Let's break this down right quick. I'm going to stop before I get into Haru. I'm going to save Haru for later. All right, but let's go right quick. I see the clock. Now from Geb and Nut arrives Asar, Aset. Asar and Aset represents the epitome, listen, of human existence. They came here for a reason, to emulate, to be like. Watch this. In the view of the myth of Asar, is seen as the soul of creation, a reflection of the divine in the flesh. Consciousness, Ra. Aset, she represents intuitional knowledge, stuff that goes on up here, aka the Akashic records, the knowledge of all things. And that's the wisdom which transcends what? Time and space. And it is united with the soul. When you put that with the spirit, the soul, you get us. That's the offspring of Aset and Haru. Us, aspirants, we are Haru, raising. And that's the story. I'll go for another time, but that's the concept. It didn't say that. I just put that in there because that's where you want to end up, being Haru. That's the one who perfected in the flesh. But you got to go through some things to get that. This is the lesson. Starting with Set and Neptat. They represent your lower nature of every human being. Not just the men. Women. Y'all responsible too. Set is the egoistic will of what? A human being. It didn't say men. All human beings. So y'all have egos too. Understand that? Oh, y'all call it diva. I don't care, but it's still ego. Why? Because it's not good. That's why. Whatever you call it, it ain't good. Ain't nothing to brag about. But that which is what? Selfish, divas, greedy, female, all we want, impulsive, emotional, and y'all full of what? Desires. You know what? For what? Sensual pleasure. You just gotta, yeah. That drug, ecstasy, it makes everybody just feel so sensual, all that nonsense, okay? But that's all man-made stuff to do that. And those desires, and what? They lead to egoistic tendencies of the mind. Self-pleasures, sensual pleasure, I ain't saying self, excuse me, but pleasure of the flesh, that's just perverted. When this occurs, what happens? A human being does not see things clearly. And they become what? Enslaved, as it were. Why? Because his or her, right there, it didn't say just his or her own desires, be you male or female, emotions, and women are very emotional, and your attachments for worldly objects, fancy clothes, nice jewelry, big car, okay, and those are all worldly things for what? Worldly experiences. They good for here and it's good in there, but that's not the end all be all. Moving on. This is known as what? Spiritual ignorance. That's my area. I know who's spiritually ignorant. Well, I can tell by how you act, what you do, how ignorant you really are to your spiritual self. Moving on. Again, or we call it bondage to what? The world of time and space. Y'all call it the matrix. Whatever you want to call it, it's still the same thing. Calling something by a different name don't change what it is. Please understand that. I'm trying to get common ground so you can understand my point. It don't make a difference what you call it. I want you to know what it is. the origin, where it come from, what's the purpose and the meaning, the real, not what somebody said. What I'm saying, if I'm trying to give you the truth understanding, I'm a truth teller, not an information giver. Just cause I'm on here and got a platform. No, I got a purpose and a reason, and it is also the cause of, you ready? Reincarnation, ignorance of self. You're gonna do life over again until what? You know thyself. I'm trying to help you along. Stop the reincarnation. That's the concept I'm trying to teach you. Or it's in the case of reincarnation, or what they call the cycle of birth and death, which every human being, get them Dr. Clark, no exceptions, beings suffers until what? They're going to repeat the life cycle until what? They obtain, you ready? Spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. We know it as Nihas. We live for that. Our ancients, not we. We ain't got it. I can't get 10 people to take the concept, but I appreciate y'all who do. So that's what I do it for. But now let's talk about Neptet. I'm wrapping up right now. I'm taking the next little paragraph. Neptet, she represents mortality. And that's, we all stuck. We think we human. We stuck on Neptet. Watch this. And all that is transient in human existence. Just here in this world. She is physical nature. Understand this, please. Itself, which what transforms itself constantly. Right now, my grass, everything is dirt. I mean, hard, solid rock, ain't nothing growing. The trees is naked, leaves that fell off. And that's what that represents nature. And it brings forth life, what? Only to see it die. But have no fear. Why? Because it will be reborn again. Spring again, new birth, new life. That's nature. We emulate that in a degree when we understand it. We can emulate it. Thus, she also, watch this, she presides over reincarnation. But also, she represents another important principle of your human existence. What's that? What's that? Calm down, I got you. I'm trying to keep myself cool. Neptet is the quality of what? Devotion. She was devoted to the spirit, which is Asar. She loved Summer Song. And sometimes that become a problem, but it didn't. It's just a philosophical concept. Remember, don't make it personal. Oh, how you want? Calm down. Again, this is a concept. We create the relationship, and y'all take it the wrong way. But she was devoted. Her thing is devotion. In all life, which is expressed in what? Its highest degree through what? That emotion we call love. She loved Summer Saw. She was married to Set. She loved the Saw. See the thing going there? Which, what happens? Manifest what? Emotions in all of us. We have that quality in every human being. Well, now, love manifests in various degrees. Some people love themselves. That's the ego. That's the divas. In a selfish way. There you go. And caring for themselves only. That's straight set. That's straight ego. If it's all about me, I don't want to deal with you. This condition is set. Again, I just stop talking and read. But this condition is set operating through them. They don't even know it. Again, ignorant of what? Your lower self, who what wants to control you, and you have no clue about your higher self. And others, watch this, that's one person. Now you got others who love what? You ready? Is this you? Material objects. And what? Senses of pleasure. They want good things. They want the finer things. You know that kind of woman? You know them? If you're not, I keep telling you, if I give you a concept about somebody, you don't know nobody like that, you might have to look in the mirror. This is also a Satanian, although a little more expanded, but it's still manifestation of love. What others have family, they love family members, and we all love our family. Well, we got, that's not an option, I wouldn't think, until what? They piss you off. And still others love what? Their community, which is, when I was coming up, I love my hood. Man, I'm proud of my hood. But moving on, that's what it's all about. The village, you should be proud where you come from. I rep Newark wherever I went. I'm from Newark, proud. I ain't never been ashamed of where I come from. Never will be. And love may expand to what? Include one's country. I I ain't going that far. Okay, no, if they come over here, I'm with you, but I'm not suiting up, booting up. I'm not doing that. Or even humanity. I love humanity. That's why I do what I do. Don't have a clue how I got into this damn game. Wasn't my intention. I'd rather be out here selling drugs and doing me, and just now I'm here trying to teach somebody something nobody wanted to do. That ain't easy. Mission impossible. Dun, 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 dun. I'm on it. Let's go. You know me. But as the feeling of love expands a person, and it should, love the earth and love the heavens, and then the subtle essence which enlivens creation itself, who? God. Sorry about that. But if you don't know that, thus what? They grow in universal love. Now, I got nothing but love for you, baby. Big Heavy D and my man. And in so doing, what happens? They are really actually growing into what? Cosmic consciousness. Knowing, and because God is universal love itself. Hello. The cosmic expansion of love and devotion for all that exists. I got a little more but that's what it's all about. And when you're happy and content, you know yourself, you got love for everybody. Why? You're part of everything and everybody's part of you. Conceptually, metaphorically, so that's why. And if you understand that, you can be just that. Wrapping it up for you. Neptet is the reflection of Aset. Her name means lady of the house. We know there's a side chick. Moving on. House. Stop. I couldn't resist that one. House here implies, I just saw my man, this kid, he got the polygamy thing going with the 2 wives, the family kid. I told him, dude, we ain't intelligent enough, emotionally, spiritually enough to even handle that concept. So you way over their head. But moving on, I just had to get that in. But house here implies what? Mortal, or the physical human existence, the body. Whereas Aset, she represents what? The more subtle spiritual realm, which transcends mortality. She's the other end of the spectrum. In any case, they are what? One and the same goddess expressing in 2 forms. You got a coin. It's going to have a head and a tail. I said head, not that tail. Simple. And the subtle as well as what? The gross. They go together of creation. Again, 2 opposites come together to make a whole. You can't have one without the other. Now, this is based on human consciousness. Again, the ability to think. The fact that they are both consorts of who? Asar, the spirit. Told you she devoted, she loved him. She had her own husband, but she loved Asar. And she's going to get some Asar. And at that point, the fact that what? The spirit Asar, like Frankie Crocker had 2 pieces. But the spirit Asar is wedded to the subtle, which is Aset, as well as the gross with essence of nature, which is Neptet. She represents the creation, nature. They both have to be part of Asar. And watch this. It is notable that while Neptet is supposed to be the consort of Set, okay, we ain't gonna get into that with another lesson, but she is nevertheless drawn because she loved Asar. And Set produces, because this is another part of the story. The caveat here is Set, your ego, has no offspring, can't reproduce, impotent, what they want to say. But no, the idea is he's one of a kind. He don't need no more of him. That's the concept. But they made him like he's impotent, so he can't produce. What ego in nature produces nothing, death. Okay, if you don't get past that, you're going to die and reincarnate. You raise your conscious level, and watch this. In the same way in life, watch this. Life of what? Vice and egoism and selfishness produces what? Nothing. No offspring in the form of anything productive, anything good, or spiritual enlightenment, which gives you what? Abiding joy, inner peace, happiness, but only frustration and unrest and discontent goes to those who what? Are ignorant of themselves. My job is to stop the suffering. Why? Get you to know yourself. That's my lesson. I'll be back with the real deal with Haru and Haru too. But right now in closing, right thinkers, hope you enjoyed the lesson. May you all live to be 100. Maybe 100 miles a day. So I never know if my right thinkers have passed away. I got more lessons I can get in before I go to the gym. I'll be right back.